check, check.
You know, you're supposed to do the check before recording.
Yeah, I did already.
You always
I'm just
do that.
looking at the I'm just always rechecking the levels, you know? Like there's always a chance I set up everything perfectly and then it just fucky-wuckies, you know?
I mean, that's just your thing. Is you always say check, check. I'd be worried if you didn't. I'd be like, what's wrong? Why didn't you say check, check?
Dude, that's not my thing. That's like
no one says check, check.
That is a thing.
At the start of the recording. That's your thing. It's just like your little thing that you do. It's your signature. I've hit the recording button. Check, check.
Dude, maybe I do that at it.
I know you do. I know that you do this because we've started the recording together so
I don't
many
even
times.
like think about that.
Don't have like an existential crisis or anything. It's not a big deal.
No, it's not existential crisis. I mean, it might be some kind of crisis. It's like a little one.
That's fine. We need those sometimes.
Okay, I don't even know how to intro the guests that we have today.
How do you intro a legend?
But everybody is my twin.
Yeah, twin guy. Twin guy's here.
Hello.
So
Thanks for having me, guys.
I'm gonna look. It's funny looking at you guys next to each other because I know Aaron always says like, "No, we look nothing alike."
I've never said that.
Yeah, does he say that?
You have told me that before.
No, I say when asked, I always give the same answer, and it's that some people it's not a problem at all. Some people
like that's
freeze in terror and are just like
that's what I was remembering. Yeah,
it's true. I mean, there's definitely like we've even had people who didn't know we were twins. Like there was a time, and you know, it depends on do we both have beards? How similar is our hair? You know, we've gone through periods where people have asked us, "Are you guys cousins?" or something like that. And I don't remember. Quinn, maybe you remember who it was who thought we were cousins for a while, and then.
I mean, I remember that being a thing because it was
that
like
Kyle?
shocking.
I think it may have been.
I don't think Kyle just didn't know we were related.
Yeah, which is weird. It's like, I mean,
he just met us each separately and then eventually found out we were twins and was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah.
And then some people didn't have not had trouble telling us apart, and then we tell them that we're twins, then it's like a mental block and they're just like,
yeah, that happens. They're like, "Oh my gosh. I don't know which one you are now."
Although I remember when the first time I had met you, Adam, is when we went to sushi and you guys had very similar beard lengths and hair lengths. And you guys were sitting like on the same side of the table. And there would be a few times where I'd glance over and be like, which one is it? Who's that guy? Is it that guy or is it that guy? Or are they swapped now? Did they go to the bathroom and swap seats and clothes? I don't know what's going on anymore. Like the classic twin thing that people think that twins do that they never actually do.
Yeah.
Like the swapping thing.
We did that once that I remember.
When?
We
Why?
had a family friend from church who always swore he could tell us apart just by looking at our eyes. You know, probably not like the eyeball, but like, you know, just looking at our eyes. And never got it wrong ever.
Ever. He would take a moment and he would look from one to the other and he always got it.
Yeah, and when we were kids, we were a lot more similar looking, like way more.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send Troh a cute picture of like Twin and I when we were little.
I mean, I have trouble. Like, I have to look at photos of us when we're young and stop for a minute.
No
way.
way.
Yeah, no, it takes me a long time
Really?
too. And before we continue on with the church friend story, like there was a period in my life where I always got it wrong because I thought I looked like Adam because I saw him way more than I saw myself in like a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So then every time I looked at a picture, I would recognize Adam, and so I would just be like, "That one's me."
Yeah. It was a weird, yeah.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah, it took...
Especially when you're like recalling in your memory, you think back, and most people are like, have a vague idea of what they look like, but it would be easy.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't perfectly remember what you looked like from childhood, but you know, you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, that's me. But when you have someone who looks very, very similar, you have my vague
you
recollection
look at all the time.
Yeah, my vague recollection of him is better than what I remember of me. And so, you know, you look at this old photo and you're like, I guess that's me, you know?
Yeah. I think you just think to yourself, the one that I recognize immediately is me, because I'm me, and that makes sense. But it's kind of counterintuitive. I probably learned that about myself when I was like 18 or so, looking at pictures and consistently getting it wrong. And then we kind of thought about it, and I don't know who said something, whether it was Adam or my mom or me, but we were like, wait a minute. We just always picked the wrong person. So, like, there's got to be something going on here. But back to the family friend from church, we did swap shirts once. We, like, saw him before the service, went to church, whatever. Then after the service ended, Twin and I went into a bathroom, swapped shirts, came back out, and he, like, did a double take and was like, you guys switched shirts, didn't you? And we were like, he's so good. How does he do it? But yeah.
Jeez.
So, yeah.
I couldn't imagine that. Like I'm mentally incapable of imagining something like that. That is
really?
Yes, I'm an only child. I don't know anything of even siblings, let alone a sibling that looks exactly like me.
Jimmy's like, I've never even seen a church.
I don't even know what church is. I've only seen pictures in old books.
Yeah, and that place just across from Lumbridge Castle.
Is that what that thing is? I don't have no idea. Dude.
Oh my goodness. You know what I just realized?
What?
I haven't played old school RuneScape with roofs on in like 12 years. 15, whenever I played as a kid.
15 years ago.
Oh, did they not?
No.
There was a period of time where I played with, before I think maybe you could always toggle it, but before I knew. That would be weird. That'd be really strange.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of times that it auto removes them anyways because of the screen positioning, it's not that different. There's a lot of buildings, though, that are actually really cool looking that I
That's
didn't
what
know
I'm thinking.
Like big, tall buildings.
Yeah.
Ferox's Enclave is really tall. There's multi-levels. It's a big fort. It's
really?
Very cool looking. Yeah.
I need to try that sometime.
Wait, do you even play RuneScape, Adam?
I do.
What?
Yeah.
Since when? Like, I remember you guys going on some escapades a few times. I remember Aaron telling me about it, but like I didn't know you were like actively still doing it.
Yeah, pretty much every time my twin has played RuneScape, I've played RuneScape. There are some periods of time where I've like taken a break, you know, even for many months, and he was still playing because he was creating content. But I mean, ever since I picked it up, it was about the time Aaron started One Kick Rick.
Very famous series.
Yeah, that's about when I started playing again, and you know, I've taken some breaks, but I've always considered myself someone who plays RuneScape, you know, as one does.
I remember when we used to play back in, this was probably like 2005, we had a home computer, and then our mom had a laptop, which we could borrow some days. And so one of us would be when we'd switch days, one of us would be on the computer, and the other one would be sitting on like the crappy chair with the laptop.
Yeah, you had like...
I don't even know if we had a mouse. We were probably playing with like a trackpad or something.
And it was on that part of the desk that didn't have a little space underneath, so you had to like either tuck your legs up or... You know,
yeah, it was like cabinets
you'd
there.
be way out from...
Anyways, you would be on the budget.
The budget
Anyways,
setup.
we'd be sitting there on the computer table, one of us on the main one of us on the laptop, and we'd call our friend Bradley on line 2, and then because we had a line 2, so we could actually like use the phone. during the day, because before cell phones, like phone lines, home lines were like used all the time, because that's like that. You didn't have cell phones, so every phone call was to the landline. So anyways, we had a line too, so it's pretty dope. So we'd set it in between us on speaker, and us three would play RuneScape and just chat. And I remember Bradley lived in Dallas.
Right.
And that was considered a long distance call.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Like Austin to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a different world.
And which
Austin
means
to Dallas was a long distance call.
Yeah.
And thankfully Bradley, his mom had unlimited long distance calls, so he would call us on his line too. And so anyways, that was our gaming setup. And I remember one day, because we used to PK or merch or do whatever, and I remember one day we're all sitting around just having a blast on RuneScape. And we're like, man, one day when we're all 40, we're still going to be playing RuneScape. And we're all like, yeah. And it was like, one of those kids moments.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, well over halfway to 40.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys you're killing it. You're following your goal.
Living the dream.
Living the dream.
I had another funny moment with those two. Bradley lived across the cul-de-sac from us, and so we used to always go over to. He had all the cool games. Our parents didn't really like video games very much, which was
which is ironic given the like career trajectories.
Yeah, he makes games, and I play them for a living now. So sorry, I guess. But anyways. Bradley had all the cool games, or like the T-ready games or the M-ready games or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd always go to Bradley's house to play games. But it was just him and his sister. So then most of the games that he had were single player, or he had one controller, or it was a PC game. And back then, PC games, you played one at a time. And so what mostly happened, and we played a lot of RTSs and stuff, what would happen is most of the time I would play the game and Adam and Bradley would watch.
Yeah.
And I was perfectly happy with this because I always liked playing the game. And I remember asking them a lot as a kid and being like, do you guys want to play? And most of the time they were like, no, not really. I'd rather watch, which was just mind blowing to me as a kid. I'm like, you play games. So this is cool.
I can make money off of this.
I keep playing Age of Empires 2 or Heroes of Might and Magic or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Age of Empires was a big one.
Yeah, and so we'd all sit around and be like, "Ooh, do this, do that," and like
that was the fun thing about strategy games is like we could input as well, like build this or do that, and it's not like in like a MOBA or something where it's a lot more micro intensive. Well, that's not true. But the way we played.
When your kid's playing an RTS, you're like sitting there, you're like, well, what building do we want to build next for our village?
Yeah, we'd talk about it.
Yeah.
Call the village council and be like, like maybe we'll build a castle.
But long story short, we grew up going across the cul-de-sac and they'd watch me play games. And I remember maybe like a year ago, I was streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
And Bradley called me after the stream and he was like, dude, it was the weirdest thing. Like I was having this memory of watching you play games when we were kids, and now here we are like 15, 20 years later, and I'm just watching you play games online. And we were like, whoa, like nothing's changed. But yeah,
That's crazy, man.
We had a lot of fun as kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I feel like I'm going to have to be the, I don't even know what the term would be.
Moderator.
I guess the moderator.
Are you
Third wheel?
us,
I feel like I have to interview you two. Like, I feel like I have to guide the
sure,
questions.
On my screen it's me and Twin up here and then you down there. So
yeah, me too. That's where I'm
same.
at. So I'm like, yes, then let me present you two over here. They won't get it, but we will, so it's fine. Troh will also probably not get it, but he can imagine what it looks like. Anyway, so play games versus make games. How long have you been making games, Adam? What is that all about?
Well, Actually, so what I actually do is concept art.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you familiar with that, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Okay. For those viewers who might not know, it's basically like drafting the blueprints for game design. Similar to how someone building a building might draft blueprints, an architect would draw up plans, that kind of thing.
Or like storyboarding for movies.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
Very, very much like storyboarding. You know, if we have cinematics or something like that, that might be something that I do. A lot of concept departments handle that kind of thing.
So you be drawing shit, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I draw and paint digitally, pretty much exclusively, just because it's a lot faster. But yeah, I've been making games. I mean, it's one of those things that I've just always been doing. Like, as kids, Aaron and I used to draw all the time, and we would just create stuff, like worlds, and, I mean, when we were kids, there were times we'd go out to, our family has a ranch that we've owned for 20-something years, and we would go out to the family ranch with friends, and as, like, small children, we would go out, and when we'd play on the ranch, this is largely influenced by Runescape, but we would like draw a character that was us. Be like, this is my character, and then we would create a stat sheet for ourselves.
Lots of stat sheets.
And then we'd go out and we would just adventure in the wilds, and then we'd like go back home for lunch and like level up our stat sheet. Like, we got graph paper and would like fill in our little progress bars. You know,
we
so
complete
like
quests and name them.
Yeah.
And, you know, put that on the... Basically, the statute was like, this is how awesome we did today.
Yeah.
And then our numbers would go up.
And what we would actually be doing is, like, we would go and, like, cut down trees with hatchets and, like, work on our little fort. Or, like, you know, go fight monsters in the woods.
You were cutting trees in real life?
Yeah. Yeah, we had...
For the sake of your stat sheet?
For our wood cutting skill. It was RuneScape IRL, pretty much.
Where were these trees? In your backyard? Or are you just like going
to parks? On the ranch.
Out on the ranch.
At the ranch, okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to like public parks and just, you know.
No.
No.
Anybody
I'm legally obligated to tell you no,
okay.
Jimmy. We did not cut down any trees at parks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that would be the last thing I expect you to do. Just cut down park trees. Very out of character.
Park didn't used to be a park; used to be a forest.
Yeah.
And then he did the 99 woodcut grind, and the rest is history.
So, what do you think about Nine Rain being a YouTube guy?
I think it's awesome, honestly.
Uh-huh.
Because, I mean, we both kind of went different directions, but both very creative fields. So I'm happy that he's doing something creative where he can, like, you know, express his ideas. You know, we've always been idea-driven people, I think. You know, again, as kids, we would even, like, sometimes we'd spend an afternoon just talking about, like, what a cool game would be, or, like, a cool world, even. Like,
we invented a lot of cool Pokemon games that should have been made and just weren't.
Yeah.
You guys could have been Pokemon
true.
guys, man.
Yeah.
What happened?
Life. Life happened. But yeah, no, I think it's great. I mean, I watch all of his videos, and I mean, part of it is because he's my twin, but I also really enjoy the content. Like,
mostly before I'll release a video, I think it's pretty much every video now. I'll call Twin and we'll watch the video together, and then I upload it. Or
to this day, you still do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow. Most of the time.
Are you good at giving feedback, or are you just like, that was great, good work?
Well, usually, it's funny because there was, I think you talked about this on a Bankstandin podcast at some point, but there was a video he put out where, did you put it out yet? I think you have. It's the one where you had, like, there was, like, the plot twist in you, like, did that cinematic moment in the beginning.
Oh, we're talking the That's my Trailblazer final video.
Okay, it was the final Trailblazer video.
The like 45-minute banger with the big cinematic at the beginning and the end.
Yeah, it's funny. So if I have feedback, I'll give it to him. But it was funny when I watched that video, he showed me the version before he had moved that bit at the end, which was, I think, like the really key part of making that like a kind of unique scenario. Before he had put it in the beginning, I watched it, and then we got to the end, and it was awesome. And my feedback was like, man, it just kind of sucks that like it's at the end. Like, I want everyone to be able to see that. And he was like, oh, actually, like right before I called you, I just did that. So, you know, I'll give him feedback, but a lot of times, I mean, at this point, it's mostly like he goes through his iterative cycles and kind of has it down by that point. So most of the time, I'm just like, hell yeah, great video.
He just sits back and is thrown like, that was amazing, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. You loved what you just saw.
When you watch Jimmy,
I haven't watched all of your videos like I have my twins, but I've watched a lot of Jimmy. Yeah.
Wow.
New stuff or old stuff?
A little of both. I actually first was introduced to Jimmy through the little like Rust skit videos that you guys did together.
Oh,
yeah. And you started releasing these videos like
Jimmy, we gotta play
and
more
Jimmy
Rust.
was kind of the punchline. Yeah, you guys do. It's very enjoyable to watch. And Jimmy was often the punchline. Like most of your...
It was really fun for me to write those videos. I like doing that when I'm doing videos with other people. I like making them the main character of the joke or the line. Mm-hmm. It not only is it easier to do for me, I don't even know if it's easier or harder. It was just natural. And then another reason is I say, for some reason when I play games with people, I say their names a lot. And so actually when going back and editing, there's so many clips of me being like, hey, Jimmy, or, oh, Jimmy blank, or Jimmy, check this out.
No, what you mean is, hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
We actually haven't been doing the voice very much at all lately, which is good, and we're just going to move on.
You know what's funny is the voice has migrated, and it hasn't hit you yet, but it probably will at some point. We've moved to the settled voice. Settled has brought a voice along. Wait, which one is that?
I've seen...
he always...
Well, he does something like this. He talks like this, and it tells
like,
you something's going to happen to you. And like
a weird version of the Joker.
Yeah, yes. That's his new voice, and he says the funniest shit with it, and it's like the new voice. I think Kevin has adapted it from Settled. I'm pretty sure Settled's coined that voice, and it's gonna be like, I can't get rid of it. I find myself doing it, and I hate it.
Is this a CS:GO thing?
It's everything.
Yeah, it's a CS:GO
I just mean like,
yeah.
I don't know what games you guys are playing together.
He's been dragging me to Valorant recently, and
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Valorant's not really my game. I like CS:GO a lot better.
That's fair. There was a period of time where I played CS:GO a lot because my roommate, who was streaming at the time, was very good at it. I mean, very good. He got like, I actually don't remember what rank he got to, but I got the double AKs. I don't remember what the name of that is.
Oh, Master Guardian.
Valorant or CS:GO?
CS:GO.
As a Master Guardian.
Yeah, I got to that, and he was higher ranked than me by a fair amount and significantly better. So I played with him a lot, and yeah, there was a period of time where I definitely, I did what you did last year, Jimmy, where you're just like, oh, I'm gonna get into this game,
and then the hours just start coming and life starts going.
And those are long. They can be long.
Oh yeah.
It's like long interrupted games. It's like League of Legends, which is the game I play most nowadays, like alongside RuneScape, I guess. Like the game times have shortened a lot, but you'd get in some CS:GO matches, and Valorant has a similar thing where like, if it goes long, I mean, it's like long, like 45 minutes. So
yeah,
the
those
time
things
does
are
fly.
brutal. Yeah, and it's the worst thing ever too, because you can either you can tie in CS:GO competitive, so like it could be a 15-15 match, which takes forever. But then the worst feeling is losing 16-14 because you just battled your fucking life away. And when it's 16-14, like people are trying those last 5 rounds or so, like so hard. And if you lose it, it's like, damn, my whole last 45 minutes just fucked me. That hurts. Yeah, it's a lot of shitty feelings coming from that game.
So you were saying Valorant isn't really your game?
No, you know what's weird is I feel like I have a bias against games with abilities and like future techs. I can't get into the whole I've got to shoot somebody's security camera and their lasers on the wall while dodging someone throwing a smoke orb through a wall and someone tossing a grenade that turns into 6 other grenades. Right. There's so much happening that's just like, oh, and you can't even call walls on it because half the abilities are like, oh, we can see you through walls, by the way. So it's like,
here's my problem with the abilities route and the magic route is it loses, despite the fact that it might function just like an item in a more realistic game. Like, say there's an ability that's a flash bang, essentially, and you shoot it out of your hand and it's a magic spell and it goes pew pew. It seems way less compelling to have a magic spell that floats and bounces and like in the description it bounces off walls and surfaces and then after 5 seconds detonates in a blinding light. Woo, it's a magic spell. That you're like, if you do that and it blinds people, you're like, that's cool, I guess. But if you have a flashbang where you're like, this thing explodes, light comes out of it. Here we go, boys. It like translates into real life because you can be like, I could do that in real life. So what happens is you think, if I was in real life, what would I do? I'd bounce it off that wall. And so you use like real life creative scenarios to translate that ingenuity into the game and that creativity. And then it does like cool things in game and reacts like you imagined it would have in real life. But you don't get that kind of connection with like magic spell, laser gun, bouncy bounce. Like it's just not as, I don't know. It doesn't feel like you did something really awesome that humans do. You just did like this wuju magic.
Yeah. And it's also makes you feel like you just got killed by absolute horse shit if you die that way. If someone does that magic thing, like if I get flashbanged,
there's the horse shit factor of it.
Yeah, if I get flashbanged, I'm like, good flash. I
shouldn't have looked at the flashbang. Obviously,
if a tank shoots you in like Arma 3, you're like, it was a tank.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
but if some like magic turret gun, boom boom spell blew you up. And it was a tank. Yeah. You'd be like, that's bullshit. They shouldn't have those spells. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know, I guess it doesn't make sense, but it just doesn't have the same. Because in real life, there are tanks. And if you are on foot in real life and you see a tank, you leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has the like context.
I actually think, like, I see what Valorant is doing in being able to create it's kind of like, there's a lot to talk about here between Valorant and CSGO, but I guess I'll start by saying I think there is something really beautiful in the simplicity of the design of CSGO, where like you're all in the same boat, you all have the same character, and
it's like RuneScape.
Yeah, the ability.
I'm not joking. That is.
Yeah, like the ability to. Okay, if I beat this person in this, like, say there's a 1v1 scenario at the end of the round and you come out on top, it's like we both had, the same kind of situation, You know, I mean, maybe one person had a money advantage, but, you know, you earned that, right? So we're both in the same boat, and it's not due to some kind of mismatch of character abilities or something. You just used what you had better and won.
Right.
And that's kind of, it's like super rewarding. And it's this weird conundrum with like, there's this idea in game design. It's not even like an idea. It's just like a kind of generalism that's true of most design, which is just like the 70-30 rule, which is when you play a game, a good rule of thumb is, you know, between each iterative phase of a game, say like round to round, most people want about 70% the same and 30% of the experience to be unique. And the way that MOBAs and many other games approach that scenario is through introducing a bunch of new characters. So say you play a game of Dota, you know, the general things that you're doing on the map, like the map is the same, the creeps are the same, the objectives are the same, but it's the champions or heroes, I don't know what you call them in Dota, that 30% that from round to round is different. And that seems to be very, like, super effective in game design these days. Like, and I think that's what Valorant is kind of capitalizing on is, okay, we're going to add some character variety, and so you get that new experience, but there's still that like 70% which is a controlled thing, and it makes games like Valorant really like do well. But there's a part of me that longs for the days of CS:GO and Brood War and these games that didn't appeal so much to a kind of like design philosophy that is effective for keeping people like clicking and engaged, but just had a simplicity that really kind of makes them timeless. Like CS:GO has been around for so long.
Like chess has not changed in thousands of years.
Yeah.
And Among Us.
And Among Us, yes. Both have been simple and been around for thousands of years.
Millennia. It's hard to tell which
Played
one
by
is
our
older at this
ancestors.
point. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I know that the Chinese had a version of Among Us that was slightly different, but we're really not sure where it originated from.
No.
Truly.
No. Probably Greece. Ancient Greece, perhaps.
Yeah.
They were a little sus.
Oh, God. Is that still a thing? Sus?
No.
Thank God.
Maybe.
It's like
probably.
it's memed really hard still. Like, because everyone's in the aftermath phase of Among Us. I don't think people are still making videos. I mean, they could be. They just had a new expansion come out. It was blowing up all over my Steam homepage since I had to buy that fucking game. That there's a new expansion, a new aircraft expansion or something to Among Us. So it's probably being milked a little bit still. But people are at the point like, God damn, that was an annoying game. Let's continue its legacy by memeing about sus and everything that remotely looks like an Among Us character. Let's call it sus. It's like,
by the way, I completely agree with both of your brutally condemning views of Among Us.
Yeah, it's shit to your game. It's so bad.
I think all of your criticisms true. I don't think it's a shit tier game. Clearly there's something about it that's like good.
People like shit sometimes.
It's true.
Can't argue with that.
People like shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Easily
Baby
accessible
by Justin
shit.
Bieber. Baby by Justin Bieber, one of the most listened to songs on the planet to date. Nothing against the guy. He probably has songs that are not popular, I don't know if that's ever been the case for him, but that are way less popular, that are way better. Just comes to mind as like, I couldn't stand to listen to that song more than once.
Yeah.
But it, the numbers are there.
The numbers are there, yeah.
No, that's a good point. I take back what I said. It's funny. I can't tell you how many times. I mean, Sadie, my wife, would be the first to tell you, and when I'm sure you've heard this before, but there are a lot of times where, we're having like a friendly disagreement about something, probably pop music, and she's like, "Oh, this is really good," or, "Hey, we should do this thing because everyone else is doing it." And I'm one of those people that's like, "Hey, if most people are doing this thing, that's a pretty good argument to convince me not to do it." Because most of the time, it's like, is that really good? I don't know.
So you think popular things are shitty by default?
I think a lot of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Not always. Sometimes stuff pops off and you're like, good for that thing. Like the sea shanty craze that's been happening recently.
Yeah,
people
Valheim?
are starting to notice a lot more folk music, bluegrass, that kind of shanty. I've been listening to that stuff for 15 years. Some of my favorite music on the planet.
Yeah,
And
I guess the more nope, you go.
Just gonna say it doesn't always mean it's crap if it's popular, but I don't take that as necessarily a vote in its favor.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. It's like, that's not going to convince me one way or another. It's like,
go to the trending page on YouTube. Like,
yeah.
Don't go to the trending page on
precisely,
YouTube.
precisely.
Don't go there. Don't
go there and then leave.
Yeah.
And there's massive numbers, and I don't know who the hell is watching them, if they're real people or not, because I haven't ever talked to anybody in my life who's ever watched anything on the trending page. So are you out there? Please, like, if you're listening to this, I just want to know that you exist and that it's not all a scam. Because honestly, I just never met those people. Does that make me like a bigot?
No.
Am I elitist about that?
No.
Do we just not associate with the kind of people that would watch the trending page on YouTube?
Were you following Video Game Donkey? Do you watch him at all?
I love Donkey.
Yeah, when he was doing the whole like
the bit that he did recently was so brilliant.
Oh
what
my
a good
God,
move!
I haven't seen Donkey in a while.
To do the bit over the course of like 3 weeks, and that was so smart.
Getting to the trending page is like he did. He intentionally
ironically,
did it. Yeah,
as doing parodies of trending page style videos.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
he made it to the trending page and proved in doing so how bullshit it is and how much better his videos were than everything else that was there. It was honestly so well played.
Yeah.
I've been a Donkey fan since his League of Legends stuff.
It was amazing.
9 years ago or whatever. And yeah.
Oh yeah, you told me that once. He did League of Legends like long ago.
Ages ago, yeah.
He's
Quinn,
like
have you ever talked to No, go Jimmy.
Oh yeah, I was just saying he's the guy that's like he was the perfect example of just being straightforward with his audience about like, because he was strictly just a League of Legends guy and he was making like these one-off videos and they weren't getting much attention, and then one day he just drops this video just titled like, "I'm not making any more League of Legends videos," and then he talks about why, and then he's like, "I put so much effort in the other ones, just go watch those. I actually I think these are way better than my League of Legends videos." And so he's like a really good example of how a creator should be viewing their own stuff. Like if you don't want to make shit anymore, then don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we is this our time to announce our move to RuneScape 3, Jimmy?
Yes, dude. Are you gonna do that with me, by the way? Do you want to? I'm gonna make. I'm making a RuneScape 3 video this month.
Wait, are you actually gonna play RS3, Jimmy?
I'm gonna do a RuneScape 3 video this month. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Like,
I've heard Aaron talk about it a lot.
Aaron? Yeah, well, Avra and I played. Here. Yeah, I'm that way. Yeah. Well, I don't know what Troh's gonna do. Avra and Ingus and I played during a double XP weekend for the lulz, and again, I'll say I really enjoyed everything that wasn't old school RuneScape in that game. Because if I was ever doing something like a quest that I'd done in old school RuneScape, it just felt worse in RS3. all the new stuff was cool and fun because it was a new game that I was exploring.
Yeah.
The UI is so shit.
Yeah.
And the MTX and all that stuff is so garbage. By the gods, if they could make a cool game if they just took both teams and said, let's just make RuneScape Ultimate and we're going to learn from our mistakes and we're actually going to make a game that we're excited about. Not that we are excited to monetize or that we want to do like new cool payment methods for, just like go make a cool game. Jagex could totally do that. They have the staff on both teams to make something awesome.
Yeah.
Side point.
Why don't we do it?
Hire us, Jagex. Call me. You have my Discord.
No, I'm talking about capitalism competition. We make RuneScape's competitor.
I know a lot of people who work in the games industry, and I think Twin knows even more. So, Jimmy,
come on, Jagex, bring it. Sorry, go ahead.
RS3, yeah. I enjoyed breaking that game. We found a bot farm and abused it accidentally within the first 24 hours of playing the game and made hundreds of millions of GP. Since then, that bot farm has been shut down and the amount of gold on my account has inflated dramatically. I am extremely rich.
Wait, why?
Because they shut down the bot farm. That was...
So all the things you got from
10 or 12, I kept my stash of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of this cursed energy or whatever, cursed essence. Anyways, so now that's I have a lot of money in that game, and I nearly maxed the combat stats on an account in like 2 days. We stumbled upon this thing called Elite Dungeon.
Is that the underwater thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a video of Avranai doing one on his channel, and the thumbnail says goldforass.com. Everyone should go watch that video. It's hilarious.
I've seen it.
It's so funny. I
good.
summon a Ben Shapiro demon in the middle of it, and it's just great.
Wow.
Yeah, but the point, we pretty much broke RS3 in like a week, or it felt that way. An RS3 player probably looks at that and is like, ha ha ha, that's not even the game. And fair. There's like RS3 players, from my understanding, they play Iron Man. They do all the quests. The quests are awesome. The late game takes forever to get to. Getting 99s is like getting 60s in OSRS. Like you're expected to get 99s.
Wait, but what's getting 99s then?
You keep getting the late game progression. Some stats go above 99, but a lot of the late game progression is getting the items, doing the quests, unlocking more stuff. It's not necessarily about, like, RuneScape stops at 75, really. All of our numbers kind of stop, unless you're talking crafting.
You mean old school, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, old school. But to bring it back to our conversation, really enjoyed RS3. Would totally play it again. I saw a really interesting conversation. It was very short, like back and forth on Twitter today. I think Foe said something about how he was really happy that...
Oh, you mean Faux?
Faux said something that he was really happy about everyone who was doing RS3 stuff being successful, and then he was happy to see people enjoying the game. And then Sick Nerd said something along the lines of, yeah, it's been awesome. I love it. Been having way more fun playing it than I have had on OSRS in a long time. But then he said something along, and this is the point that I wanted to get to, said something along the lines of, I might be looking at it through rose-colored glasses, though, and maybe that goes away. And then someone else commented on that saying, oh yeah, been playing RS3 for a long time, it's rose-colored glasses. But the point that I would counterpoint that by saying, I don't think that the looking at things through rose-colored glasses means that there's some kind of preconception that you have, or some kind of, I don't know, like judgment that you've made, or you're refusing to see something for what it is. But actually, I think like games are meant to be played. It's a new game. You play it, you beat it, you do all the stuff, and then you stop playing that game. And you go play other games. And like maybe in a competitive environment, like chess or CSGO or whatever, if you're gonna like, you can keep these games have replayability because of the competition. But like, RuneScape's not really that. I hear people talking about RuneScape dying all the time, especially right now since they're not releasing anything. And a lot of people are like worried, like what happens if RuneScape dies or blah, blah, blah. I only have a couple thoughts about it. One, like, so it dies. People, that's what happens to things. Like, they get released, they get exciting, people play them, they watch them, they do whatever and interact with them. They interact with all the things, and then they move on. If RuneScape stops releasing content, people are just going to stop playing it.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. The only thing that would keep us around is more new content.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any kind of like rose-colored glasses that's happening. He's just playing a new game with new stuff to do. And RS3 has a ton of that because they've been developing new stuff since 2008 when it split or whatever. And they put out way more updates than OSRS despite the massive player base difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I actually wonder what, excuse me, I wonder what you guys think about this idea, which is, as much as it's kind of a, all right, let me put it in these terms. I think a lot of old school RuneScape players view the polls through rose-colored glasses. I actually don't think it's that healthy of a system.
Nope.
For old school RuneScape. And
we shit on the polls like every other podcast.
Okay.
It's a terrible system. Yeah.
Because
it worked, but just
like
because it worked,
it had its place.
It should be there forever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there was a time where the people at Jagex kind of abandoned their players through making a series of changes that really didn't sit well with the player base. You know, I mean, that's why Twin and I quit. It was like, oh, the wilderness is gone and player-to-player trading is gone. We're done. You know, that was it. Was that the same time as the combat rework? Is that the same?
That came like a year later.
Okay.
It was,
or
no,
I'm pretty sure that was like
later?
it was a while later. I mean, that was
really?
that was 2008.
We dipped out. I mean, we dipped out before even the graphical rework and or any of that stuff.
Oh,
the second they got rid of free trade in the wild, we were like, I think I stuck around just long enough for God Wars to be announced. And I remember God Wars coming to the game, and like Bradley called me one day and said, "There's God Swords in RuneScape. Should we start playing again?" And I remember logging on like one or two more times. I remember being in Camelot, and I saw someone with the God Sword, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And then I never played again because no free trade.
I mean, but
I don't know.
Yeah, but the point being, there was like, I think it was a very smart and just generally good move to like following that, poll the players and be like, hey, what do you guys want to see? You know, we'll get it done, because they clearly messed up, and so they were kind of making amends. I get it. But
yeah, I've heard Mod Sween on multiple occasions refer to it as a campaign to win the trust back from the players.
Yeah. And I think
that's
now,
how they view it as Jagex. They're just like, all we're trying to do here is get you guys to trust us again.
Yeah, and I think now it's more of a chain. Like, they are absolutely shackled by that thing. And what's so, I don't know. I just think if old school RuneScape is going to continue, I have felt very strongly for a while that, like, just let the game designers design the game.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I mean, I'm willing to trust them to not make the same kind of goof ups they have in the past. You know, like, don't change the game, but
yeah,
like,
no microtransactions. Don't change the combat system dramatically. Don't change too many things dramatically. But like new content, please, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they can't. They're so scared to even do like minor gear adjustments that they talked about it, they pulled it, they repulled it, then they said we're not doing it till we don't even know when, and then they just announced like a slow rollout system. Like it's kind of unbelievable how little they feel they can do.
Yeah.
And I talked to, this was last night. I was in a call with Poison Potion. And we talked for like 2 hours on this subject about how if you want to make a good game, and this actually goes for any creative work. So like both of you will really resonate with this with your jobs. You can't be asking the question, what do people want?
Yep.
That is such a trap. That is such a trap. Because even if you think that you hear what they want, and then assuming that they know what they want, then your ability to produce
you're just like
that,
increasing levels of obfuscation.
It falls apart on like so many different levels. Then even if you're successful at that, you end up in a place creating stuff that you didn't want to create in the first place, and you're like, well, now I'm this kind of creator. I wanted to be that.
Yeah.
And so it's not even a win in the end. And if you want to make a good game or a good YouTube video or a good whatever, you have to have a team of people that are excited about something. And it doesn't matter what that thing is, if it's Valheim or if it's there needs to be on the old school RuneScape team a bunch of people who are excited about whatever they think RuneScape could be 3 years from now. And then they need to be working to make that game. And they're absolutely not doing that.
No.
Or it doesn't look like that from the outside. It looks like they're constantly just going through Reddit, going through Twitter and being like, what do we do? What do you want? Is this okay? I hate it.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah. And I
Please just get excited about whatever RuneScape looks like in 2025 and then make that game. And there are Poison Potion and I talked for like 2 hours just throwing cool ideas out there that were like, I would love this. What if in the wilderness, it sucks to be attacked by a clan while you're at Venenatis and 5 people log in and attack you, blah, blah, blah. Make it singles plus, so only one person can attack you and you can maybe even fight back. But even then, what if there was like a cool mountainside next to it that had like cliffs that worked like ladders so you could actually escape PKers by this multi-tiered cliff system that had some agility obstacles, and maybe there were timed obstacles like in Hallowed Sepulchre, so you could actually outskill someone to escape someone who was trying to kill you and then get back to the boss. And then there were geysers that did 20 damage if you were standing there at the wrong time, and then some PKers chasing you and it gets hit by a geyser and they die, and then you get to pick up their loot. That's so freaking cool. They never think like that. And if they do, it dies in the board meeting and never makes it back to like, okay, well, let's go make this stuff. Because they think, well, the players are probably going to vote no.
There are some people who might not want this.
I don't think the Iron Men are going to like this one. I don't know.
And at this point, I don't care. Get cool ideas.
Yeah.
Get excited about them and go make it, please.
Yeah.
Or the game will die, and that's fine.
That's okay.
I'll either go play other games, or maybe it'll be cool to come back to RuneScape a year from now when nobody's playing and create YouTube videos about this secret dead game that nobody plays anymore that everyone forgot about. I don't care. As a content creator, I'll keep doing my thing, and I'll play what games I like playing, and I like playing RuneScape, so I play. But I'm about to run out of content. It's a good thing that I am going.
Yeah.
I did the math, by the way.
The math.
So this is a little bit behind the scenes.
Okay.
I used a calculator to calculate the odds of me going, the odds that I would have gotten tacits or BCP at this point, which I don't have them. So bit of a spoiler, but people are asking where the videos are and why I'm procrastinating doing General Grotto. The odds that I would have gotten a BCP or tacits at this point, the calculator that I used does not calculate beyond 99.99% chance. It is greater than a 99.99% chance that I would have gotten either item at this point.
It's ridiculous.
It is more likely that I would have gotten one of those items on my first kill than it is that I would have gone this dry.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
And speaking of,
What's your KC?
Kevin,
what is that even?
Oh, Kevin. Okay.
Kevin sent me a DM. Of him
I saw it. You shared it with me.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, I want to die.
It hurt. And what's so funny is I mean, Twin, obviously you've grinded, like you've been doing the grind. I've been there for some of it. But like you've been bearing the burden, but like I even feel his pain, Jimmy. Like, and
it's getting bad.
It's bad, and like I've been on so many damn trips to Grardor, and it's so every time like we have a good time because we're hanging out, like we are now. We're hanging out, but oh my gosh, like there's nothing. It's just like bones and snappy D's on the ground.
And another 20K cash, Addy or Cole. I could tell you General Grotto's entire drop table. I am so spoon fed on all the rarest drops.
Dude, we got like Lord of the Gems.
I'll be
like
going over this in my video.
Okay.
Because and it's gonna be worth my time. But yeah, I got in one trip I got the uncut emerald, uncut sapphire, uncut ruby. I've gotten multiple dragon stones. Those are 1 in 1,000, I think. I've gotten a dragon spear. A buddy of mine has also gotten a dragon spear and a goblin champion scroll. I got a goblin champion scroll getting KC. I've gotten every single drop on the rare drop table multiple times. 1 in 1,000 KCs, 1 in 2,000, 1 in 5,000. It's insane.
It hurts my tummy.
I can't get the 2 items I went for, Jimmy.
And this is on Iron Main, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm stuck there. And I've started solo because I feel so bad for my duos partners because they're not even getting items. If you include my KC plus the KC of everyone who's duoed with me, it's over 1,500. They've gotten 0 items. 0. Not a hilt.
Dude,
not
I guarantee if we go tonight, we'll get it. If I go and duo that thing with you tonight, we will get one of those items. I guarantee it.
I hope
I'll go for the memes, Jimmy, but it ain't happening.
That's fine, dude.
And my God. So I even started soloing it again. And thankfully, the game is dead and no one's at Grardor. When I first started,
no one's at Grardor?
No one's at Grardor.
Okay,
it's easy to find rooms right now.
Relatively
I don't get crashed.
easy.
The Bennies are gone. No. I'll hop 2 worlds and find one.
Oh.
And then I won't get crashed because it's not competitive.
That's crazy.
If you ever want to do Grardor in your life, do it right now.
Wait, but
don't tell people that or it won't be.
No. But didn't they add instances though for Iron Man?
For Iron Man, but that is such a small amount of the player base that does Grardor.
Yeah,
really?
it was not Iron Man that was ruining the content for us. Like
the Vennies found a better thing to
they must
or
have
bot
Yeah.
or because they've moved on. There's still some.
Yeah.
But it used to be every single world was 5 people in there and multiple people standing outdoors. And the real frustrating part about the grind in the beginning was I was trying to solo it. And I would get KC and then I would spend an hour.
Yeah.
So there was a day I spent 2 hours hopping to find a room, and then I just went outside and I went and like worked out or whatever because I was like, this was my Grotto grind today. I got 0 KC. And then when I would find a room as a solo, I would get crashed. And then when they added instances for Iron Man, I'm not a real Iron Man.
Yeah, so you can't do it.
Yeah.
So I can't do that. But then the game died and no one's at Grotto right now. So actually, it hasn't been
Speaking
terrible
of the game dying, recently, there's been a small bounce back. Just the tiniest, but in a few key indexes, a small bounce back in prices of items.
Rare items are going up, like useless cosmetics.
Yeah, I get that, but also like a few others. And
Renar weeds.
Yeah.
My Renar weeds have gone from 7K, they're almost 8K, and that's been in a week. I'm sitting on like 3,000 of them, and I have 100 Renar seeds in the bank that I'm just turning into doing herb runs 3 or 4 times a day.
I wonder if you turn them into Renar weeds.
Yeah.
But and honestly, I think, I mean, it makes sense. The time of year. I mean, like one thing that I've wondered for a while, like there's a lot of people who kind of play the RuneScape market, kind of like the stock market, and there's all these like, rules about trading and all these different strategies. I wonder, like, you could come up with some pretty good technical analysis. Like, I'm not going to take the time to do it, but I've always wished someone would go and do it like a technical analysis of different RuneScape trends.
Oh, people do that.
So,
yeah, there's videos. online.
Yes, but I mean, maybe there's really awesome ones out there, but I mean, I studied finance before I went into game design. Compared to like stock market technical analysis, it's like super weak. It's not, there's nothing. I mean, there's a lot of people who, like, through YouTube videos or other things, do some form of market analysis, but it's all very colloquial, and, you know, you can, like, watch the prices go up and down, but it's kind of like me watching, like, my friend who's over here like, dude, I'm day trading on easystocks.com, and, like, I think Apple is valuable, so I bought one of their stocks. I'm like, you don't know what you're doing. Like, you're gambling at this point. But, you know, I think it'd be really cool to see someone do like a true technical analysis of like the RuneScape market, because I think there's a lot of trends that probably go unnoticed. Like, there's obvious ones from like time of year.
Yeah, yearly trends. Like, there's always a boom in summer.
But,
always a pretty massive one.
Yeah, but I have a pretty strong feeling that there are some underlying trends that probably have to do more with the gaming market at whole than people realize. Because, like, I kind of feel like the RuneScape community, like, sits kind of over here, like, somewhat aside from a lot of the rest of the gaming community.
Yeah, a lot of RuneScape gamers aren't like they just play RuneScape.
Yeah, but I have a hunch that a lot of their experience within the RuneScape market has to do with larger gaming trends. I just think it'd be kind of cool to, if someone were to like take a look into that from a technical point of view.
Jimmy, do
just
you know
a thought.
guy?
Yeah,
I don't know,
Jimmy.
guy.
Yeah,
I don't know, guy. No. Nope. Not me. I'm just thinking about going to General Guardor and getting those things for you.
Okay, Jim, I've been in your shoes. Where you are right now, I have been there.
No.
Myself. Like, no?
Nah, you don't know the things I'm capable of.
Okay.
You don't. Trust me, we'll get it.
Do you know how
Maybe.
to tank?
I hope so. I really hope so.
To tank, not so much. It's been so long since I've been there, which is why I know we'll get it.
I will say it's not.
Okay, actually, there's one plot twist that actually, there might not be very many YouTube videos from me for the next month or two. There's gonna be a White Wolf that I'm coming out with this month. It's gonna be probably in the next week. But other than that, I think I might take Gerard the last 4 months and turn it into a 45-minute, 1 hour banger. And like make like do you know who Frost is?
Oh,
Frost?
Dude, Twin,
Rust
that video
YouTuber?
you shared.
Or Wellen?
I know Wellen.
Or there's a whole bunch of guys in the Rust space that create those cinematic, story-driven, really like cool. I think I might just do one of those with the past 4 months of me playing RuneScape and not make a RuneScape video. Anyways, I think there's one moment that if I wanted to make a villain, I know who I would pick.
Who?
Because this was, and he doesn't deserve it. So Zalphos, you're out there, no hard feelings. But about 200 KC into Grardor, I'm there with my buddy Chakram, and we're killing Grardor for a bingo. I mean, part of it's for my thing, but we were doing a bingo for my Discord, and we're like 200 kills in or something at this point, and Chakram and I are duoing Grardor. And just to be funny, like we're in this trip. Spirits are okay. We're going a little dry at this point. We haven't seen an item. I think it's 1 in 138 chance to see Boots Tastus or BCP. And then 1 in 500 and something to get a hill. So like overall, we should have seen an item at this point. Maybe a Godsword Shard or 2 from Grardor or a minion or something. And we've seen nothing. But still, the KC is low. Spirits are high-ish. And I see a couple clan members log in outside of the room from another competing bingo team. And then this guy from my CC named Zalfos comes into our room and he's like, hey, guys, what's going on? A guy from another team, he's just messing around. He has a like super scuffed setup, like not even budget Bandos gear, like just shit tier whatever. Comes into our room. We're like, ha, this is funny. We're getting crashed by someone in our CC from the other bingo team. First kill, he's there. He steals the KC. He gets a rune longsword. We're like, ha. Okay, that's really funny, Zalfos. He got a KC. So then he's like, now I'll get a KC with the rune longsword. We start another kill. Chakram's tanking. I've got almost best in slot DPS gear. Zalfos steals another kill. Bando's chest plate. Picks it up, logs.
Wait, he didn't kill it with the rune longsword.
He got a BCP drop with a rune longsword. And that is the only item that I saw for thousands of kills. He shared, after the joke was over, he was like, my bad. I'll split loot with you guys. So good on him. But holy shit, you should have heard. I think I have some clips of it, but it doesn't capture. We were like shooting shit and hanging out. The call for the next like 2 hours was Chakram and I just going, I feel sick. Oh God. It felt worse than when I logged on after being hacked.
Oh my God.
I honestly was just like, I can't believe it.
Oh my
It does.
God.
Honestly,
That
couldn't
does
believe it.
make the
And I
tummy
have
upset.
I have not seen a BCP since then. That was like November.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
It's April.
Yeah, I did. Granted, I did take a break in December or in November, I think, to do Trailblazers, whenever that was, and in November, whatever.
Which, by the way, sick vid, guys.
We didn't make the video.
Oh, the rap. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean,
we did the song.
No, but
which
that
I
was
love.
obviously.
I
that
love
was
the fact that people
obviously-
think we did the video. It's so funny.
No. I mean, the video was cool.
Yeah.
The song.
Is that on Spotify yet?
No,
It's
it's
fucking
not. It's
dope.
never gonna be on
I mean,
Spotify, dude.
I haven't talked to you, Jimmy, about this specifically, but like, that was a kick-ass fucking song.
It was awesome.
Seriously.
That was so fun.
It's so good.
I talked to Tal for the first time in a long since like January, like 3 days ago. We just messaged back and forth because I was like, man, I missed you, buddy. Gotta hang out with that dude again soon.
Yeah.
That's great.
He's off being a real music guy.
I think he moved and got a house or something.
He did,
like that, so
yeah.
he's just been doing a lot.
God.
We should have Tal on the podcast too.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
Yo,
still
that'd be
here.
dope. You're here.
Let's talk about who else would be better than you.
Yeah, Twin. Well, Twin would message me every time there was a new guest. He'd be like, "Man, it must be nice to be on Bankstandin." And I just
Every time.
I mean, not that I didn't want to have Twin. I just took it for granted, because I hang out with him. I talk to him every day, I guess.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm glad to be here.
You're not getting paid.
No,
We might get paid a little bit.
dude, I hope so.
Tro's
guys
definitely getting
deserve it.
paid handsomely.
Yeah, I think
So
Tro's
I've
the only
heard,
one making
yeah.
money off
Yeah.
of this whole endeavor.
Yeah. No, he is.
this point.
Yeah.
Good for him. I will say, I actually commented this on your last video, but I think Troh makes a really great fourth character in all your videos.
He's like the off-camera guy.
Yeah.
yeah, seriously, it's like solid gold. I mean, like,
Yeah, he's like our
the
throw-to guy.
The 9-Rain Jimmy interplay, it's great. And then you like bring in the guest, and it's like a little bit of spice. And then you got Troh over here, and like he's like on outside
In
of the
weird editor
realm.
land?
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a wonderful production. I think more people should watch this.
Yep.
Me too. More people should watch and click. I'm not going to say you should click the ads. I feel like I can get in trouble for saying that. They should become Patreons for no reason. What?
Can you? I don't think as long as we're not getting comped in any kind of, you can ask people to click the ads, right?
I don't know. I don't risk it.
Do we even have clickable ads on this thing?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, we make like $100.
If they're relevant to you, click them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does that even help us? Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you click an ad, we probably get like 2 cents. So
help us out. What the hell? What are you doing?
Bottom line is, share this with your mom, with your sister.
Both of them will
with your uncle.
If you're somebody's mom and they sent you to this podcast, that's dope. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
That'd be really cool.
If we became like kitchen table level conversation, that'd be cool. I remember this was one of the coolest moments for me when I used to make League of Legends stuff. Had a different YouTube channel way back in the day. I wrote a little song for the intro of a video. It was this silly little song. I found a jingle from like Kevin MacLeod or something. And I just sang a little jingle over it. And someone told me, either in the comments section of a video or in a live stream or something, that she and her sister loved the song and that they sang it all the time. And they sang it so much around the household that they like the other day, their like mom was humming it and singing it. And I was like, that's so bizarre to me that in someone's house somewhere while they're eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch before school, like someone's mom is humming some song I wrote in like 5 seconds one day at the beginning of a League of Legends video. I was like, wow, that's cool.
Dude.
That's cool.
This recently happened to me. I got this story actually from Will. He messages me on Easter Sunday. And I pulled it up because this reminded me of it. He said, dude, I'm at Easter church with my family and this motherfucker behind me is explaining your YouTube channel to his friends. I really got on a flight, woke up early, and wore a nice shirt to hear this dude talk about buy release for 20 minutes. I made my way into church conversation while some dude's fucking preaching about Jesus.
That's crazy.
This guy's talking about my quest and the order that I do them. That's amazing.
My favorite part about that story is that you managed to use Easter Sunday and motherfucker in the same sentence.
Yes. Buy release has powers, dude. It's awesome.
That's so cool, man. This happened recently. Oh, I was playing League last week with Abra, and I tweeted about this.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just playing a game. It's going sideways. I was actually doing quite well, but my bottom lane is getting shit on. What they don't know, this guy clearly doesn't understand the macro game very well. They keep pushing lane into a super dangerous lane with a lot of CC. He's playing Varus. He has no flash. He has no escapes. He's just doomed. The enemy jungler is obviously going to camp him because they're pushing lane. They don't know what to do. And he shouldn't getting killed over and over. And this dude is hard flaming me. And he said multiple times, like, real 9-Rain, is that you, the Runescape guy? And he's just going off like, I hope you're not the real 9-Rain. I thought I liked that guy. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. You're a terrible jungler. And it's just the whole video. Ara and I are just cracking up because the whole game he's just hard flaming me. And the shtick that he latched onto was like, God, if you're the real 9-Rain, I thought you were cool, but you're not. And I'm like,
God.
Dude, but he's just down bad. He's getting his ass handed to him in this game. And I'm like, that's a weird way to lash out, buddy.
Yeah.
Because, like, of any game to flame in.
Not the real 9-Rain.
Not the real. I was like, it's me. Too bad you think I'm just dog shit and now you hate all my stuff, I guess. I don't know, man. Oh, shit. It was pretty funny.
Wait, this has nothing to do with anything, but I feel the need to talk about it because it's really crazy. Did you see the tweet about the knife that I pulled on CSGO?
Yeah, you're like, whatever. What is that knife
It
called?
is a Marble Fade Karambit Fire and Ice Playside.
Oh, this is a CS:GO thing.
It's a CS:GO thing.
Okay, you said the knife that I pulled, and I, in my mind, imagined you
mugged
pulling a
somebody
knife
last
on
night.
somebody. I mean,
Yeah, I
was
took Jimmy down to
wait,
Dirty
oh,
Sixth last weekend.
I was
waited
like,
outside
under
an
what
ATM for an hour.
scenario were you pulling a knife? Like,
Yeah.
Didn't you used to have one and you sold it or something? Or was that Flutie?
I mean, there's a lot of...
One of you just parted with like some nice item. I saw a tweet about it and didn't understand it. So, probably Flutie.
It was probably to do with this knife. I still have it though. So this knife, one day it's like me settled, sofa framed, and then this guy Jake, who does all our thumbnails, he makes our thumbnails look pretty, and we game with him now. And it was his first time on CS:GO, and he sees us memeing about CS:GO cases all the time. So he's like, goes to the Steam market, and he's like, oh, this one's only 9 cents. I'm going to buy 30 of them. And I didn't buy 30. You bought like 15. And I'm going to buy 15 of them. And we're like, what? And he's like, I just bought 15. And we're like, man, you know you got to buy the keys to open those, right? Each one is $2.50. So he's like, what? So he has to buy 15 keys for $2.50 each. So we're like, oh, man, don't worry. It's just... Welcome to CS:GO. This is a good way to start. Hasn't even played a game yet. So I'm like, don't worry, dude. I'll spend money with you. I'll lose money with you. This is a part of the CS:GO experience. So
yeah.
I go and I buy 4 cases, Chroma 2 cases they're called, just for fun. And on the third one, I roll it. And I see the gold symbol pop up, which if you see the gold, no matter what, the gold will not pop up unless you are going to land on it. So I landed on the gold. I've landed a knife before, and it was like $150. That was awesome. I opened this one up, and it's a Marble Fade Karambit Fire and Ice pattern, which I didn't know at the time what that was. But apparently, with the Marble Fade, there's like unlimited fucking patterns you can get of this Marble Fade pattern. And the one that I got just happened to add about $1,400 value to the already $1,000 value that the knife was in the first place.
Jesus
so I spent
Christ.
$10 and opened a nearly $2,400 knife.
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
What?
So I did that. That knife.
Congrats, my man.
Thank you.
I mean,
yeah. So also, this is what I was tweeting about. I was tweeting at CS:GO that I put out like an Amber Alert for my knife because it was gone.
I think I saw that tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened is I opened that up on my alt account, my low level one, because we were playing with a guy who had never played before, and we were all high levels. We don't want to bring him there. That's how that goes. So I opened it on an account that was not my main account, and I'm trying to transfer it. You got to wait 7 days. You got to wait a week to transfer items that you open or get anything. It's a trade hold. So 7 days later, I wake up that morning and I'm like, oh boy, today's the day. I can transfer it to my main account. So I start transferring it. I, accept the trade. I go into my authenticator and press yes. It starts the trade open. I log on to my other account, go to accept it, and it says error 28. And I'm like, the fuck is error 28? It canceled the trade automatically. The trade was gone. It was no longer valid. I'm like refreshing shit, looking into it, freaking out. It turns out that just so happens on the day that my knife is able to come to my main account, the CS:GO market, which is like a $3 billion a year industry, was experiencing an absolute catastrophe and just in a total meltdown and explosion of the market, where people were buying items and not receiving them, or trading them and the items not going anywhere. And nobody was getting their items. If they had an item on the market and they took it off, it was no longer anywhere. It did not go back into their inventory. Everything was in this like void of nothingness. And people's items, and in my case, $2,400 was now missing. Just gone. So I waited in anxiousness for about 11 hours until finally the servers were gotten back to normal at the fire of Steam HQ, whatever the fuck was going on. But it was probably the longest day of my life, just waiting to see if I was going to get this knife back, which I did. It got back onto my alt account, which now has another trade hold, so I can't trade it for another 5 days from now. So I'm just waiting. Just this knife that I pulled, can't really do anything with it. It's just sitting there. But I have it, so that's cool. Very grateful that I have it and it was not lost. But CSGO cases, don't open them. You probably won't get what I got. So there's your lesson.
I've never been much of a... I don't like gambling, and I don't like the... any loot box system.
No.
I am immediately... Like, the second I see a company put out a loot box system, I am fervently against buying them on the principle of the fact that they're a scam.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be played by some company.
That's
the
good.
The only game that I really played and didn't mind loot boxes in was Overwatch.
I've never even seen any of
it was
stuff
only ever
Overwatch.
cosmetic.
Yeah.
And like just extra stuff, and it was like pretty minor.
Overwatch seems pretty... I feel like I got a lot of free ones, and they gave me really good skins all the time.
Yeah, like I never paid any money and had a lot of really cool stuff, so it seemed fine to me.
Yeah.
I never got into the CSGO like rolling for... I honestly don't even know how it really works in CSGO. Don't you... Like, you basically buy crates, and do you have to buy keys?
Yes.
Yeah, you buy crates, you buy keys, and then you just gamble.
Okay, yeah.
And people pour, like, okay, so the knife that I got, extremely rare. The numbers are so skewed. It's not even casino odds. Casino odds are amazing compared to CSGO case odds.
It was a karambit?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that one of those knives that, like...
It like flips around and shit when you hold it.
Backwards with like the circle little ring that
yeah it's
well, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty fucking cool. I should not have gotten that. No one should have. There should not be this market for cosmetic.
But dude, when you pull it out, you like spin it over your hand and then catch it.
Looks good. It's kind of crazy that there's not only are there like skins for like certain knives and stuff and like skins on guns, there's fucking stickers that you can plaster onto guns forever that you cannot get off. That if they're on a gun and that sticker's on that gun goes up like $500 in value. So like, because they're from some, huge pro event in 2014, and these stickers, the stickers will never be released again. It was, exclusive to that event that, maybe a historical win happened, something to always remember. And it's like, bam, it's on this gun. This gun is now an artifact of this crazy event that happened during this. And
man,
it's valuable.
Yeah, I actually heard something recently. It was in one of the it was in a Day 9 Demon Souls remake stream. He was talking about esports, and what really surprised me is that, in his opinion, what he said was the best esport of all time was Counter-Strike.
That's not surprising to me.
This really, I mean, coming from Day 9, I was like, surely he'll say
StarCraft.
Yeah, surely he'll say StarCraft 1, But he was like, given the history and everything around it,
CSGO's longevity.
Yeah. I mean,
pretty remarkable.
It made me think.
StarCraft's longevity was remarkable, but StarCraft, on the release of StarCraft 2, StarCraft 1, and it was already on its way out anyways, and so for CSGO to be so big and steady for so long, and remarkably unchanged. Yeah, and then the pro scene is massive, and people all really care about it, and so it's not even. I don't know, and it feels really player driven. When you watch LCS, it feels like the whole thing's propped up on 10-cent money at this point. Just gonna be honest, it's a really, really fantastic production, but the numbers aren't there. Like, people aren't watching. It's not that popular. Not that many people.
It's still the most viewed esport in the world.
What is?
In China.
I mean,
if you take China out of the equation, which, I gotta be honest, they keep everything so under wraps there and out of the rest of the world's eye that it doesn't even like whatever. They can't be a part of the conversation because they exclude themselves. Yeah, it's massive in China.
You're talking about StarCraft?
No, League of Legends.
Oh, League, okay.
Yeah, LCS is their North American broadcast. It peaked in season 4, maybe, and it's season 11 now. So it's been a long time.
There ain't no goddamn esport that tops Fortnite.
Do they? I mean, I'm sure they have like.
I have never enjoyed.
They did. I don't know about now. It's probably not doing.
I've never enjoyed watching a single round of Fortnite. Not once.
Yeah.
I've tried. I really have tried, but
I was surprised to find out that a lot of the reason people like the professionals and everybody liked Fortnite was for the building. I hated that part of the game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It immediately just took me out of the game for the same reason that magic bouncy flare spells take me out of the game. Like, I wanted a game that was, I don't know, kind of realistic, like a CSGO or a PUBG or something, where you're like, I'm going to use the terrain, traverse this thing, outsmart my enemy, and then like do stuff that kind of mirrors real life. But when I watch like a stream of a professional player playing the game, it was just like blue translucent diagrams and like shit floating in to build itself. I said just like
yeah.
And I was like, this looks like the dumbest shit. This is Tetris. I go watch Tetris.
Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it looked so boring.
Yeah.
I just honestly could not get past the building. It really was lame.
Do people still play Fortnite?
Yeah. We were in the Semper Pog Discord. We went through like a weekend phase.
That was like a meme.
It was a meme, yeah.
That was just a Chun-Li meme.
It was, but it was honestly, it was kind of fun. Like in game, they changed it so that building isn't all you have to worry about. Because I mean, like the whole battle royale thing is like, you know, everyone drops where they need to, closes in, and you know, blah blah blah. But now, you know, they were the ones who first started, as far as I know. They made the whole like battle pass the meta of all these games, and you know now they've evolved their battle pass into doing like challenges, and it, you know, it's almost like fucking how Trailblazer had all this like this long list worth a certain amount of stuff. They do that
so
now.
Now people are playing to do the challenges, so they're not just trying to win.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's cool, but when I'm playing a game, and I want to be good at it. Like if I want to be good at PUBG, I want to get in the mind of a pro player. I want to watch pro players. I want to emulate that, and I want to see what it takes to be good. I want to, like, in PUBG, it was all about positioning, communicating with your team, setting yourself up in the right situation, and then hitting some really damn good shots. And in Fortnite, it always came down to, if I want to be good at this game, I got to learn this super obscure building system, and that is a massive part of what separates good players from bad players, like a massive part. And I had zero interest in being good at it, so I was just immediately resigned to, I'm gonna screw around for a weekend, and then never play this game again.
I know what you're talking about with that mindset of being like, I want to see what it takes to be good, because I felt that was CSGO. But when I get on Fortnite and my character is Master Chief doing a fucking dab, I don't care how competitive it gets. I'm not getting into that game in a serious mindset. You can't. I don't know. It's just a fun game. I feel like it's one of those games that you hop on just to fuck around.
It was fun the like one weekend that I played.
Yeah.
I had fun. But the second I was running around the map, like laughing with my friends, and I saw some dude out of the corner of my eye just go like,
oh yeah,
and he's in his room like
just building the fucking Taj Mahal,
like, yes!
dude. Yeah, it's terrible.
Like, okay, well he can screw himself.
Yeah.
And other than that, though, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very devastating because I played, you know, during the meme weekend of it, I played a solo match while I was waiting to get in for them to finish their game, and I won. I won my first match I went in out of all this, and I was so stoked. I'm like, dude, I'm the fucking best. I'm the best Fortnite player of all time. I just won my first game. I haven't played this since like fucking sophomore year of college when everyone was playing it. Like, oh my god. Come to find out, they've put bots in the game, And the first
I was about to ask, was it a bot game?
and the first game
It's
you
like
play,
winning LMS.
Yep.
It's like
And I beat bots. Good for me. I beat a bunch of bots.
you
So,
beat bops.
I beat the bots.
When
Beep bop boop.
is there gonna be another Arma 3 day?
Yeah, Arma 3 is having a Vietnam expansion, like an official expansion come out. So, and it's gonna have the anti-Stasi, which is like the game mode, player-made game mode. They're gonna have support for it like immediately. So we're waiting for that to come out.
Is
to
that
do it.
like in a week or like 3 months?
They haven't even announced the date. They just said quarter two 2021. So I mean, they're getting a little close. Quarter two.
I mean, Q2 is
I
like-
couldn't make it to the. I could. Was it like Monday or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't
So,
play.
yeah.
I was so sad.
Yeah, it was fun. Arma's a grind and a half. Like that game mode especially, it brought me back to my days of DayZ where we would go on 45-minute drives to go and pick gear up.
Is it similar to Squad?
In ways,
I didn't really like Squad.
you didn't.
I liked screwing around and the RP, but the actual gameplay
I agree.
didn't. I always died from some massive distance from
Yeah.
someone I could never see
Yeah.
and never found out where I was getting shot from.
Yeah.
Ever.
You
Yeah.
know what game is awesome? Hold Fast. Nations at War.
Yeah. Screaming as a Revolutionary
Oh
War
my
guy.
goodness.
It's
that
fun.
game.
That's the one with the Revolutionary War where you're like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll just be like, ah.
That was a ton of fun for a couple days, but honestly,
It was a good game. Yeah, it's
absolutely
fun.
a ton of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's supposed to be a new game coming out that's like Chivalry meets, I don't know. It's kind of like what Chivalry 2 could have been.
Feminism.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
Think about it.
goddamn.
Think about it.
I don't think feminism the game would be very fun.
Or would it be?
Oh, guys,
Only if you're playing a female, then it'd be great.
great.
But I feel like that.
Okay,
I feel like that class
hold
would
on.
be OP.
It'd be very OP.
I have to show you guys something.
Is it
I'll
your
be-
baby? Is it Rand?
No, he's asleep. The dude's
He
been
just gets a
asleep for
baby
an hour and
from
a
it.
half.
This is
Yeah,
my
oh,
baby.
Oh,
Fine. It's not.
This
Rand,
made
that's fine.
feminism. This made me think of this. No, I gotta get a book. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, he gets the book. I'm gonna go pee.
I will also go
Okay.
pee.
I'm gonna
Troh, you know
go
what
pee
to
and
do.
then get the
Cut
book.
this.
Dude, Jimmy.
Yeah.
What if Twin and I in that time switched places?
That'd be awesome.
He lives about 45 minutes away, but like that wouldn't that be if we just and he sits down on the throne and I'm like, hey, it's me, I'm a dad, haha.
That'd be funny.
Nobody would know.
No one would know. He'd be like, wait a second.
People would know.
Was that? Was he?
I think I'm gonna grow my hair out. I think I'm gonna do it.
I tell myself that. I told myself that before I moved to Texas, which I did. I grew it out for a while. It was long, and then I was like, I don't really like this.
Jimmy, bring it back out.
No,
You already landed a girl, man. You got nothing to prove.
I just don't. I feel disgusting for myself, my own like thing.
Clean it.
I do. I don't like
It
things.
takes more work to stay clean when you got a lot of hair. That's true, but
Yeah, I don't
you
want to
just
do
gotta-
that. This is so nice. I'm just like, I'm
it
done.
is pretty nice. Yeah, that's true. I know that I constantly think that to myself, and it's not even like that long yet.
Yeah.
Some parts of it are like
Yeah. I mean, there were
there,
things that I was like, yeah, this is good. I like the way I look with this hair. But then there were days where I was like, I wish I didn't have to worry about what I looked like in the morning.
maybe I'll just go full like
Man bun.
long hair.
Bring back
I had
the
a man bun
buns.
once, but it was I had shaved sides. I think
You're like a
round
Viking,
two.
dude. You're like,
Yeah, I
Oh,
did the
God.
whole shaved sides with the
yeah.
man bun on top.
Is this dude getting a whole library for us? What is he doing?
I don't know what he's doing. Did you say he was getting a book?
Yeah, he's getting a book, but I mean, he's having trouble.
I can't read.
I don't know why
Nobody
he's
would
gonna
do
want
that.
me to read the pages. I don't do that. So.
Oh, you want me to read the pages? No, not the. I don't read pages.
Framed messages in this group chat with me, and Settle goes, "I've got a sinus infection, dude. Let's go." Settle goes, "Dude, that's epic. What's the drop rate on that?"
Jimmy, I need you to teach me Premiere.
Okay.
I bought it.
Have you tried it yet? It's fun, man.
I think I'm gonna make this next Iron Man video in Premiere.
It's fun.
Which means it's gonna be a long time before it comes out, but I don't know. I kind of want to make. It's probably not the best strategy on YouTube in 2021, but I kind of want to make it super long, really, like produced, epic Runescape video. So.
Yeah.
And it'll be good to learn it in Premiere, and really, it'll force me to like deep dive into the program.
I think for like big
Twin
productions, like 30, 35 minutes is probably like the cap. Like you should keep it around there. People's attention spans won't make it past.
Right. Well, and I'll be cutting a lot.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of the point of some of this, is to get through 40 hours of footage, or however many, I don't know.
Yeah. So you went and got a book and whiskey as well?
I did, yeah.
What's the book?
The book. Okay, well, let's start with the whiskey. The whiskey is Dalmore, 12-year.
How can I Dal more if I haven't had any? Sandlot? Don't give me that look.
I got it.
Sandlot joke.
I'm thinking about this look.
So what book did you get?
The book. All right. So we're probably all familiar with the genre of novels that fall into the category of erotica.
Yeah.
Where's this going?
Okay, and we're probably familiar with the genre of satire. Now this is an erotica satire novel.
Okay.
And I got it as a white Santa gift. It's called New Erotica for Feminists. Satirical Fantasies of Love, Lust, and Equal Pay. And it's truly hilarious.
Is that a
like it's
pizza dripping on the lights?
It is. I'm not really sure what the cover has going on for it, but
what a
it's
weird
honestly
book.
very funny. It's very weird. It was a wonderful.
Did it have multiple authors?
Did I say White Santa? It was a white elephant gift.
Yeah.
White Santa is also a thing.
Okay. It's the one where you have everyone brings a gift and a random person gets it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read. It's like a bunch of like really small little blurbs, like mini stories. I will read one to you. No, I haven't read the whole thing. I just like have browsed it, and it's generally funny. So, and I've been organizing my office, so I came across it earlier today, and anyways, it seemed worth sharing.
Okay.
So I will read from you a small passage. Read for you. I have to tell you something, I say, twisting my hands nervously. I believe this is from the perspective of a woman. And you probably won't want me after you know. I can imagine a reason not to want you, he says, leaning forward. I can't imagine a reason not to want you, he says. I take a deep breath. I'm pregnant. 16 weeks to be exact. Congratulations. Our offer still stands, he says without a pause. We've been looking for months, and we're convinced you're the best director of finance out there. Well, then I accept. I seize a pen and sign the offer letter with a flourish.
Huh.
The end.
Nice.
So it's like one of those things
twist.
like you think you know where this is going, but what if I told you it's not where you think it's going?
Yeah, and the whole thing is just rife with like, it just takes like a very general, and like pleasant. It's not like controversial, just like a pleasant feminist angle. But like it puts it within, it sets you up to expect eroticism, but then it's just like, oh, and the woman does well and succeeds. And it's very funny, the whole thing. Anyways.
Who are the authors? Because I saw multiple.
Yeah, we have Caitlin Kunkel, Brooke Preston.
Unfortunate last name.
That's a very unfortunate last name.
It's either Kunkel or Kunkel, and I'm not sure which is worse.
Miss Kunkel.
Yeah. Fiona Taylor and Carrie Whitmer. All seemingly female names.
Fiona Taylor's the best name there.
Yeah. I agree.
It's like Shrek's wife.
Just Fiona? Is that the chick in Shrek?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
She was a lot better as a human.
Yeah, she started pretty, got ugly, became pretty, and then went ugly again, I'm pretty sure.
No, but she was like a cooler character as a human.
Yeah, she's like running around and shit.
Yeah, like she
doing cool things.
She just became like more serious and a little more like, we'll get through this Shreky Wecky, and then like, I don't know.
I haven't seen Shrek in a long time.
I really also
me either, but I know what you mean.
Theaters.
Yeah.
I just remember. I remember it was like a little bit. I mean, we were really young when it came out.
3rd grade, we were 8.
Wow. Really?
Well, it was 3rd grade, so we were probably 8.
All right, yeah, so we were pretty young. And, I mean, as you alluded to before, our parents were like, you can't even play a T-rated game. And so I remember watching Shrek, and they, like, cursed, like, once or twice, I think.
Or no, they alluded to it.
Maybe. And it was like, ooh, this is kind of edgy for, like, a children's movie.
I was
like they would have stuff like where they'd be like, and this is not a real quote, but they'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna kick his, and then it'd cut to the another scene and be like, assume that we're doing something, and like so they would just like hint at cussing, but it would be not really cussing.
Wasn't it? Wasn't the bad guy's name Fuckwad?
Lord Farquaad. Fuckwad.
Fuckwad is Farquaad.
I didn't realize it was Fuckwad until
that took
I was
me
like
a long
20.
time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, holy shit, it's Lord Fuckwad.
Yeah.
Which, having a bunch of children go around and be like, haha, Lord Farquaad. As an adult, I bet they loved it. I bet they're like, oh my gosh, my kid is talking about Lord Fuckwad and he has no idea.
It's the best prank they ever played. I mean, was that Dreamworks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very good. I love Dreamworks, by the way. Like, truly, they make great films.
What have they done recently?
Recently, man, I haven't actually seen an animated film in...
Yeah, where the hell are those guys?
I haven't seen a film in a long time.
Yeah, now that you mention it. I mean, I'm pretty sure the last big DreamWorks kind of series that I really got into was How to Train Your Dragon.
Ooh, that was so good.
I mean, the first one came out a long time ago, but they made 3 of them, right? Oh, I enjoyed Boss Baby. I watched it with my wife. And...
Dude, that's another thing. You probably you get like an excuse to like really delve into this shit now. Like if you really want to, 'cause you're like, nah, just watching with my kid. Just gotta...
Well, not yet.
No, you can totally do it now.
Like a little
right,
baby.
but be like, I put it on. They love it. They were making noises while I was playing it.
For the viewers, I'm like the boomer version of my twin.
Yeah.
I have a wife.
You're just a dad.
And a baby.
Yeah.
You're right. You're a boomer too. Fine.
Don't exclude me. I am not whatever Jimmy is.
What?
Yeah. What?
I'm kidding.
If you had to call, if you, all right. I'm curious, Jimmy.
And I'm certainly not whatever Jill is.
Yeah. Oh. if you had to like pick a generation that you're like, I'm cool with being that, what would you pick?
The one like what's considered a generation? Like
there's boomers, millennials, and zoomers are like the 3 that are mostly alive right now.
And I think it's hilarious that we forgot about millennials and it's just boomers and zoomers now.
When's millennial cut off?
To be fair, millennial goes back to like born in like 1980.
Yeah, it's like real long.
Through like
Oh,
early
it's
2000s.
like-
Yeah, that's a 15-year thing. Yeah.
The generation gaps don't make any sense in like the modern pace of technology. It completely breaks down.
Yeah, it's way
Calling
too
people
fast.
boomers, millennials, and zoomers is useless.
No, I mean,
for
I
the
think I
sake
would
of-
rather be like not even if I had to pick, I think I'd rather be in that millennial category because I feel like millennials are like the least amount of pussies. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think Zoomers like I think
Okay.
the people like 5 years under me are all like pieces of shit. I think if you're like 18 right now, I probably wouldn't get along with you or your friends for some
I
reason.
feel like everybody says that though.
Yeah, actually,
probably
because
it's
I,
probably a
years
thing.
younger than
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
because to be fair, I
Because
kind of,
what happens is the people that are just younger than you end up kind of like copying you poorly, and it becomes like this parody version of yourself. So you see a little bit of yourself in them, but only the shitty parts that you don't like.
yeah. So you're looking back and you're like,
I'm
oh,
just theorizing
screw
here.
that.
I don't know.
And the people who are looking ahead are like, I'm not going to be like them, but you're mostly like them.
Yeah, people
you
think
kinda
you're like them.
resent the
People
parts that-
perceive
yeah.
you how you perceive another generation. Yeah, it's just how time is gonna work forever, kind of. So it's always worked
Yeah.
like that. It's
Yeah.
always going to.
I'm super happy to make fun of people younger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I wear that mantle gladly.
That's like a human thing. It's like as we get older, we're
They
kind
deserve
of like,
it, too.
I'm
They
wiser.
deserve it.
They deserve it. You deserve it. I'm older and wiser. I've been through things and you have not. I don't care what hardships you've faced. I'm older than you. There's factually just more things that have happened to me, no matter what you're trying to say.
Jimmy, how old are you again?
23,
Okay. Oh, really?
I think. Yeah, 23.
You're younger than Jill?
Yeah. Isn't she like, was she
Wow.
24 or 25?
I think 5.
I'm pretty sure Jill's like 19.
Jill's a
That's
fucking
fair.
anime character, dude. She doesn't even, she stays the same age
Yeah.
forever.
She's like forever 19 years old.
Yeah.
Always.
Good for her.
Pretty sure that is anime lore. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also, it's very funny that we had that anime character put in for her because it does sound like, I've never,
Wait.
I don't know what
I have a
that
question.
is. Huh?
That voice line that the anime character spoke, was that the actual character?
Which one? The I might be a
Like
girl,
the-
but girls can code?
Yes.
The gift that No,
Yes.
that's Jill.
Oh, that was her saying that.
Jill said that like during a Minecraft stream. I clipped it and then
Okay,
put it
but
over
you
the
used
GIF
that audio.
of the
Okay.
anime character
I was gonna
doing her
say
thing,
because
and it just was perfect.
okay, it was perfect. Seriously, because I seriously sat there and I was like, I couldn't tell. Is that like the clip or is that Jill? I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was pretty yeah.
It was pretty sus.
It was funny doing a whole like Minecraft.
I wish I had a mic that I
art-
could lean into.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny doing a whole Minecraft like anime RP week or two with all those people, including Jill, because what would happen was we would all start doing our anime voices and Jill would just keep talking normally and she thought she was doing an anime voice. but
that's
she'd be
just how she
I'm
is.
doing anime voice now, and we're like, yeah, you are. It's completely different.
Yeah, she's pretty I think Jill's pretty zoomer. And I actually have more respect. I hope no one takes this offensively.
Someone will.
Yeah, I have more respect generally, not individually, for zoomers than millennials.
For what?
I'm a millennial for what it's worth.
yeah.
Although I identify as boomer.
Same.
I'm a Generation X.
Well,
so.
although lately, boomer, I kind of go more with like boom them or boom they.
Mhm.
So
That's
you could
appropriate.
call me a boom they, and I'm okay with that.
I just miss the days when you could insult people to their faces and they wouldn't take it personally. That's like how I grew up, and it was a better time.
You did grow up that way. You did insult me to my face a lot.
When people grew up with thick skin and they just didn't take it personally, and they didn't try to get you canceled or make a big deal out of it, and people like forgave each other, and there was grace because we need that in our society.
No, I think I actually think that's like incredibly pertinent, which is like, I feel like the idea of grace is like not in our culture right now, and that just sucks for like everybody.
Look, actually Nicole showed this to me today, a tweet of somebody getting upset at the fact that people joke about the whole like, stepsis, what are you doing? Because it's normalizing incest. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. You tweeted that and you thought to yourself, I'm a hero. I'm a fucking, what is it? It's on the tip of my tongue, dude. A martyr. I'm a fucking martyr for all the incest victims for saying like stepsis should not be allowed to be joked about. It's a porn thing. Porn's bad too, by the way. Reply tweet. Don't like that stuff. Like this. Please?
Oh, here's a link of something you can support now that this tweet is popping.
Yeah, here's this charity.
Because I'm a good person and I support this when no one's watching.
Yeah, here's this charity. I mean, I didn't fucking do it. But I mean, you all liking this would seem like the type of people that would love to donate to this. So check it out. Why don't you check it out? Just click.
It's weird because when I was young, like 9, 10, 11, the kind of world I was growing up in, the hypocrites that we saw publicly, and it wasn't nearly as prolific, I think, or maybe I was just young, so you weren't quite as exposed to it, and social media didn't exist. But if someone was called a hypocrite, it was the religious people who were clearly just pretending to be religious because it was popular and made you look good. I mean, more specifically Christian, because it's the United States. And so, like, for example, a lot of people got really mad about Trump swearing on the Bible a couple times and saying things remote, like even kind of offhandedly quoting Christianity. And the whole reason they're upset about it is they're like, Trump's only doing that to appease to a Christian audience, aka like get votes. And then you go watch people like they're doing the exact same things at this point, as far as I'm concerned, saying something like having BLM in your Twitter name is the same as putting like some random like sorority girl putting a Bible verse in her Tinder profile.
That's interesting. I actually
it's just a shibboleth to say I'm part of the group.
I mean, people just want to be parts of groups that are
right, and has nothing to do with like convictions or what you really act like or whether you care or not. It's just a stand-in to be like, I'm part of this group, so you can go ahead and accept me without knowing me.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, it's just like the MLB pulling their, what was that, the All-Star game from Georgia that happened like this week.
Is this recent? I don't know.
Yeah. I think it, like within a week or two, it was like very recent. And it's just like, it's just one of those ways for, that's super interesting. I hadn't really thought about that, but like 15, 20 years ago, like people would have likely virtue signaled toward religion.
Yep.
Whereas now they're like,
it feels exactly the same. Like, it's weird. Coming from a world where people used to fake Christian to be cool, and now you definitely fake anti-Christian to be cool. Yeah. Or even fake, like it doesn't even have to do with religion. It's just you fake whatever group or ideology now. And
that's interesting.
But like it feels exactly the same as like the hypocrites then, the hypocrites now.
Yeah, and I feel like most people can see through that.
Really, really fake.
Yeah.
It'll probably
How did
swing
we
back
get
the other
here?
way eventually. I don't know.
By the way, I think you're making a good point, but like I don't remember how we got here. It was probably my fault bringing a book with feminist in the title.
You brought a book with pizza on here. Now I want to order pizza, but Domino's is closed.
Oh man,
Domino's is closed.
Yeah.
What? Why?
You want to know something sad? Since my wife has been feeding our child, my son Rand has tummy issues with dairy and soy, and so we haven't had real pizza in like a while. And it's not like I used to eat pizza all the time, but there's sometimes where we're like, man, I just want some pizza.
Why can't you get pizza for you?
All right, Jimmy, one of these days you will have a wife.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
who won't be able to eat cheese. And then you're going to think, hey, I could order a real pizza and eat it in front of her, but you're not going to be able to.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest. Okay. I ate I'm pretty sure there was one time where I ate a legit pizza. Like I got a real good pepperoni pizza. And I was like, yes, I'm so pumped. My wife's over there with her like dairy-free pizza, which is like the cheese, seriously. Like I ate 2 slices and was gagging because it's like rubbery.
I can't believe you got through 2. Right?
I know. And she's over there like,
pizza
this is so good. And I'm here like, oh my God, shoving pizza down my face hole. And I couldn't do it. I was like, it just feels bad.
Dude, I remember working at Domino's like for a summer and trying their gluten-free pizza once. And it was probably the worst thing I've ever tasted. I will never forget. I don't remember what it tasted like, but I remember how that taste made me feel. And oh my God.
Yeah, I'll tell you, gluten-free is not nearly as bad as dairy-free.
Really?
Like, gluten-free bread is like, it's a step down. It just is. Yeah. Gluten-free bread is not as good as bread.
Every time.
Dairy-free cheese, it's like silly putty. It is bad.
It sounds like a terrible time. I'm sorry you had to endure that.
Every time I've ever done an elimination diet or something, I never go for the fake versions of the things that I'm not eating. Mm-hmm. Those were always worse to me than just excluding it entirely. Like if I'm not gonna do meat, I'm not gonna eat the fake meat. That stuff is so gross.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we took beans and we mashed them up, and then we put in like I don't know we found this in South America, and it's a kind of clay, and it kind of holds the beans together.
We've ran the numbers. There's no meat in here.
They're like, yeah, it's
mostly dirt, to be honest.
But you won't be breaking your diet, would you? No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I'll just eat it. I'll just eat what I need to eat, what I want to.
All right. Well, we're like 2 hours into this thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good time to call it. Thank you, Twin, for coming on the podcast.
Glad to be here.
Thank you, Jimmy, for coming on the podcast.
Don't fucking thank me, man.
Yeah, whatever. And Troh, we're paying you to be here. So.
We don't thank you. We're paying you. You
Troh,
thank us. You thank us for the opportunity, Troh. That's all.
I like you, Troh. You're a cool guy.
We don't. He does.
You can edit that out.
You don't have to edit that out.
All right. Well, do you want to do the honors, Twin?
I thought we didn't.
You don't get to do the honors. The honors. Where there's no honors. And.